have to learn how to do this, which is to observe stories in their natural habitat. How do people tell stories in real life? If you can figure that out, you'll know everything you need to know about story structure. Just listen to how people use stories. They often use stories to prove a point. So they'll say, that was the coolest party I've ever been to. That's their proposal. That was the coolest party I've ever been to, is their proposal. What's the next thing they're going to do?
Tell you what. Say because.
Right, tell you why. Make their points. Well, this famous person was there, this famous person was there, this is the, right? All of that, this band played, whatever they think is the coolest thing, that's what they're going to give you. And then they're going to say, you missed a great party, or whatever however they conclude, but it's exactly how people speak. Right? So story structure is just an imitation of how people speak. Right? When we talk, I don't think that we should call it writing, I think we should call it storytelling. When we call it writing, we make it about words. And it's not necessarily about words. You can tell stories about words. Right? Charlie Chaplin made a career telling stories about words. You don't need words. Right? But storytelling, now when you think of it not as writing, you can observe it in actual life. And it will teach you everything. And often people will say, like when Memento came out, or when Pulp Fiction came out before that, people will say, oh, well those stories manipulate structure, and they're new with structure, and they do a new thing. They're not doing anything new. They're not doing any, people tell stories, the chronology, the timeline of stories, people mix up all the time. So they'll start with their outer boundaries. They'll say, I got fired from my job today. I go into work like I always do. Fired from their job happens later. But they tell you what they're going to tell you. I got fired from my job today. Then they go back in time and they say, so I walk into my office like I always do. I sit down like I always do. I have my coffee, whatever they do, right? Or however they're going to do it. So people tell stories out of the timeline, out of chronology all the time. That has nothing to do with structure. In fact, it can improve your structure sometimes.